There's this idea with a lot of young men that they'll hit their prime at 40 and then they can exclusively date young, hot women. I am the young, hot woman trying to date your dad. Let me tell you something. Most of you will not be pulling young, hot women when you're 40. You will be bald. You will have a beer belly. Your money is less of a factor than you think it is. Of course, money and finances and stability are a factor and are attractive. But if you're not in the very top percentile of hotness and your age demographic at 40, I've got some really bad news for you. You're not going to be getting the bad bitches you want.
Whenever someone tells men they won't be attractive at 40, pay attention on who is talking. Of recent, we've been seeing women come online and shame men, shame the idea of men getting better with age, make fun of it. Why do you think it's happening? I'll tell you why. But before then, the real question is not can men actually get better or do men actually get better with age? The real question is this: why are some people so desperate to let men know they can't get better with age? Why? According to her narrative, most men will be bald, will be overweight, they will be unsuccessful. But she curiously ignores or intentionally ignores something in the equation. Men don't pick later because of magic. Men pick later because male value takes time to develop. When a guy is in his 20s, he's building his career, he's building his social awareness, he's building his confidence, he's building his financial stability, he's building his discipline. All of these are things that you don't just switch the light on and it happens. It takes time of grinding. So when you reach your early 20s, before you even notice, you are already in your 30s, in your mid 30s. Before you finally settle down, you are already in your early 40s. Of course, some people are different. Some people really heat it up earlier. But most guys, when they work on themselves, when they work on their finances, on their confidence, on their social awareness, on everything that makes up a man, things finally fall in place in their mid 30s to their late 30s and early 40s. But compare that with women. Women are often valued early because of youth and beauty. Men are valued later because competence takes time to build. And if you agree so far with what I'm saying, smash the subscribe button because we are here to call out the double standards and to create awareness for men to see it before it happens. So, men and women have completely two development timelines. And it's true. I have to be honest. The idea that a man will peak in his 40s is not a guarantee, but it's a potential outcome. So if a man drifts through his 20s, he avoids discipline, he neglects his health, he avoids responsibilities. Of course, in this case, by 40, he will have fewer options. So we can say she has a point on that one. But here's the difference, bro. Men who build leverage compounds, a man who takes care of his body, a man who builds his income, a man who develops discipline, a man who develops confidence, a man who builds his social awareness. That man at 40 is not the same guy he was at 25. Not even the same guy he was at 30. His options expand because his life structure expanded. And the truth is that some of us guys, we hear the idea of male prime and we treat it like a guarantee. We think it's bound to happen instead of taking it as a responsibility, instead of taking it as a challenge to put in ourselves in a situation where by that time we will be good. So, as I said, the conversation here should not even be about women, what they say or what they think. The conversation here should be about you, should be about us. What are we doing? If we did not work hard in our 20s, what are we doing in our 30s? What are we doing in our 40s for the later years of our life to be top notch? And as I said, remember, the people pushing this agenda, they are not older men because older men will tell younger guys that work hard in your 20s. Don't waste it on women. In your 40s, in your 50s, you'll be at the top of your game. That's what older men will say because they have the experience, because they've been there. But you know who are the people who push this agenda? They are women. Why do they do it? Because when they're in their 20s, same age like you, in your 20s, they don't care about you. They don't date you. They date the older guys who are in their late 30s and in their 40s because those guys are already stable. And then they come back to shame you because after dating those guys will abandon them for more younger girls and then they will want to settle with you when you've already built yourself. So they shame you not to work hard so that when you get into your 40s, You'll be forced to settle with them. That's why they push this narrative. So they have the control. Just remember, the girl you were dating in secondary school, the girl you were dating when you were in your 20s, what happened? She left you for an older, more stable guy. That's how it works. So when you'll be older and more stable, you go for younger girls. But she's shaming you now too, so that you think it's not possible, so that you don't work hard on your body, so that you don't work hard on your career, so that you don't work hard on your finances, on your discipline, on your social awareness, on your masculinity, so that when you reach your 40s, you are not able to pull the younger girl. Then you settle with her after she has been run through all her life. Her body count has exploded. You'll be left with no choice. That's why she pushes this narrative. That's why people like her push this narrative. Because they want to keep you stuck. They want you to doubt yourself. They don't want you to believe in your capabilities. Don't listen to them. Don't fall for it. She says money is not even a big factor. But that's a lie. Almost every survey in dating apps or in social settings shows that financial stability is one of the most attractive things for men. We all see it. But she's telling you money is not a factor. Why? She wants you to be broke and weak, without boundaries, without standards, so that she can later come in with her money and control you. That's why. It's crazy how society constantly tells women to seek successful men. But she's here telling you that financial success does not matter. Who is she fooling? As I said, I can give it to her. Most men won't be successful at 40, not because of their age, but because of lack of discipline. Because they spend their 20s and their 30s trying to live for other people, trying to satisfy other people, trying to please other people, instead of working on themselves, instead of working on what is important to them. Yeah, it's not a magic number, but when you do the right things, by that age, you're in the right place. And I know some of you, when you listen to this kind of ladies, you just say, dating is not worth it. You just give it up. You just opt out of dating. And I understand. And that's why I created something for you. It's free. It's called the opt out test. It's not motivation, it's a mirror for you to see. It takes less than 7 minutes. You answer brutal, honest questions. And then it makes you realize if you really want to date or you are ready to opt out. But this time, the difference is that your decision will be based on data, based on the right information. The link is on the description of this video and on the first comment below. It's free. Take the test and let's see what it gets for you. Listen, bro, the only thing I can tell you is that instead of arguing with TikTok people like this one, focus on building yourself. Focus on building your income. Focus on building your confidence. Focus on building your competence. So you can set boundaries. So no one can shame you into doing what you don't want. So you can have leverage. So you can have options. You can all do this. We should all be doing this. But we should never allow people to dictate what we do because we own our lives. Share with your brother who needs to watch this. And if you agree, smash the subscribe button and see you in the next one. Copy that.